Now, regarding the Gaza ceasefire, we are joined by Jim Cavanagh, political analyst and blogger, joining us from New York. Mr. Cavanagh, welcome to the program. It's great to have you with us. My first question is, of course, why? Why do you think Israel is dragging its feet on the second phase of the ceasefire negotiations?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. Frankly, because they have no intention of abiding by the ceasefire and pursuing the ceasefire. Israel has not given up on its project of expelling or killing the Palestinians in Gaza. And they've been kind of emboldened, I think, by the Trump announcement of his crazy plan, which is the same plan, just that the Americans will do it for them. And, you know, the second and third phases of the ceasefire are when serious things start to happen. The Israelis are supposed to pull more of its troops out, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't believe I know that Israel doesn't want to do it, and I don't believe they will do it unless something comes up. I mean, Trump is this bizarre, unpredictable character, and he might have some personal investment in seeing that this ceasefire works. And he may push the Israelis to abide by it for some time. But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't have any confidence that this ceasefire is going forward. I'm sure the Israelis don't want it. They want to expel the Palestinians from Gaza and take it over. That's been their project all along, not to defeat Hamas, but to eliminate the Palestinians. And whether they can do that without defeating Hamas is another story. Whether the Americans can do it, I think Trump has some idea. You know, for him, the Palestinians are just, you know, unimportant characters that can be moved around like insects on the board. But he may find that that's not the case. So I really have no idea what's going to happen, but I am not confident. I'm very skeptical that the ceasefire is going to go forward.
That's right. That's what I'm more concerned with. I'm concerned with Donald Trump's role in all of this. Initially, he pushed for a ceasefire before his inauguration, but right now it seems that his rhetoric suggests a change. First of all, do you believe there was a change? And second, what do you make of it?
This is the problem. It's very hard to predict and understand what Trump is doing. As I say, as we saw, look, we have to give him credit. He pushed the Israelis into the ceasefire. I don't think there's any question about that. The Israeli press was very clear about it. Then he comes up with this Gaza plan, which is, we'll take over from the Israelis and move the Palestinians out. As if that's just nothing to consider. Besides, you know, he really thinks, I believe he really thinks that he can do that with little problem. And I don't quite understand it. In the meantime, the Israelis are sitting back watching. I think to some extent it must make Netanyahu uncomfortable that Trump is saying, we're going to take over this project. Netanyahu doesn't want that. He wants to do it in his terms and in his way. So, and I don't know what Trump might do. He might, as I say, he might say to the Israelis, look, I want you to go through with this ceasefire. But on the other hand, we see he's completely, as I say, he doesn't consider the Palestinians to be important, real people at all. He thinks they're pawns on a board that he can move around. So it's extremely difficult to predict what Trump is going to do. And that's the problem for everybody at this point. It would be, you know, historically speaking, I would bet that Trump is going to follow the Zionist line. He's going to try and get rid of the Palestinians from Gaza. The problem is all these other actors in the game, the Arab states, et cetera, who has another plan? Who has a plan that they are going to enforce on Israel? Because that's the impediment here is Israel. Israel doesn't want to give up Gaza. And who's going to make them do it?
That's right. Thank you so much for your opinion.